SIA's whirlwind marriage has turned into a courtroom cliffhanger. Here's what's new, and what's next. And before we dive in, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates as this story continues to unfold. Then jump into the comments and tell me where you land. Should SIA cut a massive spousal support check to her estranged husband, or fight this to the very end? SIA, one of the most successful and enigmatic pop artists of her generation, is facing a divorce that looks more like a financial siege. After a short, ultra-private marriage to Dan Bernard, she filed for divorce earlier this year. On paper, it seemed like a clean break. In court, it's anything but. Bernard is now asking for more than $250,000 per month in spousal support. $250,000 to be exact, plus $300,000 for attorney fees and another $200,000 for forensic accounting. That's not a negotiation opener. That's a declaration of war. Let's talk numbers first, because that's where this dispute is coming into focus. A demand of $250,000 per month translates to $3 million a year. In California, where the couple lived, spousal support isn't a punishment. It's meant to bridge the gap between a couple's standard of living during marriage and the period after separation. Judges consider income, needs, earning capacity, and the lifestyle the pair built together. And that last part is key. Based on filings, the couple lived in a 9,500 square foot Los Angeles mansion with a full-time staff, reportedly between 10 and 12 people, including a butler, personal chefs, a stylist, 2 massage therapists, an IT staffer, and multiple housekeepers. That is not a minimalist setup. For 26 months, that was normal life. Bernard's argument is simple. You put me in a private economy orbit, I can't just drop into coach. There's more. Bernard claims he has been unemployed since April 1st and has no income, little cash, and no real property or retirement savings. He also claims SIA was funding his venture, a company he was developing under the name Modern Medicine. Once the marriage ended, the funding ended. If you give that story the most generous reading, he built his days around a project subsidized by his spouse, lived at a stratospheric standard, and now finds himself with a $0 runway. If you read it the way many of SIA's fans have, he's a kept man, trying to convert a short marriage into a lifelong income stream. So what does the law say about a 26-month marriage? In California, short-term marriages, often defined as less than 10 years, typically result in spousal support for about half the length of the marriage. For a 2-year union, that can mean support measured in months, not decades. But that's a rule of thumb, not a commandment. Courts can award temporary spousal support while the case is pending, adjust later based on more complete financial information, and order one spouse to pay the other's legal and accounting fees if there's an imbalance in access to money. That's why Bernard's demand for $300,000 in attorney fees and $200,000 in forensic accounting fees is important. He isn't just seeking monthly support. He's asking the court to bankroll his legal firepower. There's another layer to this, and it's the one that changes most people's reactions the moment they hear it. Divorce documents reportedly revealed SIA welcomed a third child 11 months ago with Bernard. The child's name, according to those filings, is Somersault. SIA kept that baby completely private. No announcement. No soft launch. No whisper. But in court, privacy often gets washed away by paperwork. If accurate, that means child support and custody issues will sit alongside spousal support in this case. And child support in California is calculated by formula: income, time with each parent, and standard of living. It's separate from spousal support and comes with its own rules. So why is the demand so high? One explanation is obvious. Start big and negotiate down. Seasoned divorce attorneys will tell you that litigants often aim for shock and then settle for security. Ask for $250,000, end up with a quarter of that, or a temporary order that looks large on paper but is designed to carry someone through a transition. Another explanation is reputational. When you live beside a global superstar, your bargaining chips are limited. Money is one of them. The larger the ask, the larger the shadow it casts as everyone heads to mediation. But let's not pretend this is a simple tug-of-war between a pop star and someone eager to live off her salary. There's a claim circulating on Reddit that complicates the narrative. One commenter, who claims to have inside knowledge, says Bernard quit his job as a doctor because SIA didn't like the hours. As a result, he now needs retraining to return to medicine. That claim hasn't been verified in court filings, But if it's true, or even partially true, the optics shift. If Sia asked her husband to leave a stable career to contribute to family life, and then pulled the plug on his newly subsidized venture when the marriage ended, a court could find some support appropriate while he gets back up to speed. That doesn't make $250,000 a month reasonable. It does make zero unlikely. This is not Sia's first run through this machinery. She married documentarian Eric Anders Lang in 2014 and filed for divorce 2 years later. That split was famously quiet. She later described the process as smooth, saying they were committed to remaining friends. It's fair to wonder if a prenup helped keep the peace. If so, did she bring the same discipline to her marriage with Bernard? That's the million-dollar, or multi-million-dollar, question. A prenuptial agreement doesn't erase spousal support, but it can limit it, shape it, or waive it. If there is no prenup, the court has broader discretion to set terms. Sia's family life today is more complex than most people realize. In 2019, she adopted 2 18-year-old boys after watching a documentary about the foster care system. She saw one of them in the film and, in her words, "I'm going to find him and I'm going to be his mommy." The boy later asked if his cousin could come with him. She said yes. Both were aging out of the system. She brought them in. By early 2020, she was talking publicly about their transition to adulthood and how challenging quarantine had been. One son finding it harder than the other, both working on educational stuff that helped them move forward. Whether you read that as savior complex or hard-won generosity, it adds context to who she is. Someone who makes big, emotional choices and is willing to carry them in public when it matters. Then there's the part of Sia she rarely lets the world see, the person behind the blunt bob and the face-covering wigs. She built an identity around privacy specifically because fame felt corrosive. She has been open about addiction. She's talked about trauma. In the late 90s, she moved to London to be with her boyfriend Dan. He later died in a car accident while she was in Thailand. Her 2001 album Healing is steeped in that grief. In interviews, she described the aftermath bluntly. "We were all devastated, so we got messed up on drugs and special brew. Unfortunately, that bender lasted 6 years for me." She's also shared that she's in recovery, that she's on the autism spectrum, and that only in the last 2 years does she feel fully herself. Those confessions have not always landed cleanly. Her 2021 film Music, which attempted to depict a non-verbal autistic girl, angered many in the autistic and neurodivergent community who felt the representation was harmful and inauthentic. Some viewed Sia's later revelation that she is on the spectrum as an attempt to repair reputational damage. Others accepted it at face value. Either way, the episode reminded everyone of two things. Sia rarely plays it safe, and when she missteps, the backlash is fierce. Her appearance has been another running subplot in a career built around not being looked at. She once hid her face to avoid the trap of celebrity image. She later spoke openly about weight struggles and prescription drug use. This past year, she showed up on stage at a beauty industry awards event and credited her plastic surgeon by name for a facelift she said made her feel more like herself. "Hi, my name is Sia. I'm a pop star that normally hides my face and doesn't lie about expletive. I got an amazing facelift," she said, giddy. "I was showing someone in the back my before and afters right before I came on." That honesty, too, is part of the draw. When Sia decides to talk, she doesn't sprinkle platitudes. She tells you what she did and why she did it. So yes, back to the divorce. Sia is now 49. She apparently welcomed a baby 11 months ago. According to filings, the child's name is Somersault. The internet had its predictable fun with the name. That's celebrity culture 101. But underneath the jokes, there's a real baby with two parents now litigating their split in court. Sia initially asked for legal and physical custody and checked the box to terminate the court's ability to award spousal support to Bernard. That last request is common. But it doesn't stop the other party from filing their own request, and it doesn't prevent a court from considering support if the law supports it. Not long after the divorce filing, Sia was photographed holding hands with Harry Josie, the Australian reality star best known for Too Hot to Handle and a knack for turning any headline into more headlines. The two were all smiles leaving dinner in Los Angeles. The paparazzi were in position. The timing turned heads because Josie has been working on a dating show with its own casting calls and promotional machine. It looked staged. It felt staged. If it was PR, it did what PR does. It got people talking. And maybe that was the point. Divorce is not just a legal process. It's also an emotional reckoning. Some people go quiet. Some pick up dogs. Some hold hands in front of cameras and remind themselves they're still attractive, still wanted, still alive. All of this raises an uncomfortable but necessary question. What happens when a megastar marries quickly, shares a home and a baby with someone outside her financial orbit, and then tries to unwind it with privacy? Often, the unwinding looks exactly like this. Even if you had the best intentions, the court is going to assume the realities of the life you built together. And if your partner can credibly say you asked them to step away from their own career to support yours, or the family's, the court is going to weigh that, too. Does that mean Bernard is entitled to $250,000 a month? Not likely. Even in a state that recognizes high-expense lifestyles, judges watch for outlandish requests. Expect the court to dig into the couple's spending and income, to order financial discovery that paints a detailed picture of both lives, and then to set temporary orders that keep both parties stable while the case sorts itself out. In short marriages, permanent spousal support is often short-lived. But attorney fees and forensic accounting costs? Those can be ordered quickly if one side controls the purse strings and the other needs access to financial records to make their case. The name Somersault will trend. The hand-holding with Harry Josie will trend. The kept man jokes will trend. None of that changes the basic equation SIA now faces. She will either pay a significant sum to end this marriage cleanly, or devote months to a fight that asks a judge to set firm boundaries around what cleanly means in her world. If there's a prenup, that fight is shorter. If there isn't, it isn't. We'll keep watching this story closely, because it's about more than a demand letter. It's about how fame, privacy, and family collide in public. It's about how courts quantify standard of living. It's about how a woman who spent years hiding her face now finds her most intimate choices back on display. And yes, it's about how quickly a relationship can go from a candlelit Portofino ceremony. SIA and Bernard's wedding at Dolce & Gabbana's villa reportedly had just 6 guests, to forensic accountants combing through bank statements. Do you think SIA should settle and move on, or take this to the mat and force a judge to call it? Do you think Bernard deserves temporary support while he retrains, if the doctor claim is true? And what do you make of the name Somersault? Cute. Creative. A kid destined to go by Summer at school? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. We'll keep you posted on the court filings, any rulings on spousal support or custody, and whatever SIA chooses to share publicly as this chapter unfolds.